अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। मुहतरम नाज़रीन, खुशबू उर्दू प्रोग्राम में हम आपका खैर मकदम करते हैं। और आज खुशबू उर्दू का ये प्रोग्राम ख़ास अरबिक ज़बान पर मुश्तमिल होगा। और हमारे साथ सऊदी अरब से एक प्रोफेसर साहब यहाँ पर तशरीफ़ रखते हैं। और चूँकि आप सऊदी अरब से आपका ताल्लुक़ है, आपकी ज़बान मादरी ज़बान अरबी ज़बान है और आप अंग्रेज़ी भी बोलते हैं, इसीलिए ये पूरा प्रोग्राम अंग्रेज़ी ज़बान में होगा। Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. It's an honor, it's a privilege today in this program, a particular program, Khushbu Urdu, to receive a professor from the University of Taif, Saudi Arabia, in the name of Dr. Saleh Jaman Al-Zahrani. And I would like to tell you that Dr. Al-Zahrani, he was in Mauritius upon the invitation of the Islamic Cultural Center, that is ICC, in the context of the World Arabic Language Day. And the Missy had the privilege to meet Dr. Salih Al-Zahrani. Let me tell you that Dr. Al-Zahrani has to his credit many research works, many articles, and he has written, but most prominent thing that Dr. Al-Zahrani has written is he has written a book in 3 parts, mostly for the people learning Arabic language, that is teaching of Arabic language to non-Arabs. And basically Dr. Al-Zahrani department, his field is teaching Arabic to non-Arabs. Of course, during the program we'll learn about Arabic language, its relevance to culture, to economy. Why is it important in today's world to study, to learn Arabic language? So viewers, let's meet our guest today, Dr. Salih Jaman Al-Zahrani. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. At the beginning, I would like to thank everyone here, the NBC channel, the ICC people, for giving me the opportunity just to talk to Mauritius people, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, Doctor. My first question will be, why is it important to commemorate the World Arabic Language Day?
At the beginning, we're talking here about Arabic Language Day, but if we have in our minds why the world are doing this in terms of, for example, medical days, for example, Cancer Day, other days to be celebrated, we have something related to Arabic Day. I think from my perspectives, the first and most important thing that we know Arabic is going into the universal and going into a higher level, even in the United Nations, internationally recognized. Then shall we just have a step forward and to increase the awareness in the societies of Arab and non-Arab of how important to produce and introduce Arabic in a better way. So I guess from now on, everywhere we need to introduce Arabic in a better way, not only for Arabs, not only for non-Arabs, not only for Muslims, for non-Muslims. It's internationally, so it's considered to be internationally from now on.
And you have mentioned United Nations, Doctor. I think United Nations has mentioned that Arabic language is the 6th language, I think, the 6th international language today.
Yeah, last update, Arabic is considered to be one of the 6 languages or 6 languages in the world, which means it's driven by the importance of this language in the world and the needs and the requirements from all countries. So it's not from one side, it's not one country promoting their language, but it's the needs in the world, I guess.
Yeah. Doctor, is it fair to restrict the Arabic language only to religious language, to a particular community?
This is really a good question. I like this question. Why? At like long time ago, people start fighting, even in languages, and doesn't make sense that we fight even for the languages.
Fight for the languages?
Yeah, there is the power of the language, but there is something important and even more important. Arab is not the language of Islam. Arab is the language of Arab. And in Arab countries, we have Arab who are Muslims, and we have Arab who are non-Muslim, which means Arabic is not linked to a religion. Yeah, of course, only. This is what I meant. So if you go to Egypt, for example, you have the Christian and you have the Muslims, and all of them, they speak Arabic. Lebanon, everywhere, Morocco. So let's start saying something really important and clear here. No language is meant to be the language of a religion. Yes, some holy books written in a language, but that doesn't mean that this language must be studied for the sake of the religion. Maybe for those people who are following the religion, it's okay, but for others, it's the language that you need to communicate with the society, with the community, with the culture.
So what we understand, Doctor, is it that the human being creates barriers?
Yeah, believe me, whatever we try, we need now to move forward and start thinking critically and logically. We don't need to listen to people who are trying to stop the world to going into a better world. So people who are trying to campaign for saying this is for that and that is for this. I don't need people to come inside my mind and tell me what to do. I need to think myself. I need to do what I think it's true. So we need to close the gaps, build the bridges between the communities, the cultures, the religions, and no one can just be driven only by one mind.
Yeah. Coming to culture, Doctor, how do you think that this language, Arabic language, can foster, can rather strengthen the bond of cultures, of different cultures across the globe?
Let me speak here from a Mauritius point of view. Yeah. Being in Mauritius, I know you have different cultures and you have different societies in one society, so it's one hand. It is the same like your hand with 5 fingers. You cannot get rid of one of them because you don't like it or you like it. It's your hand. If you're losing one of these fingers, you will be asking again for doctors and everyone to get it back. So this culture or this language, let's say we have 5 languages here in Mauritius, or 6 languages or 7 languages, no one would like to lose one of them. Why we are saying no, this language and that language? So one thing, we are getting closer. We are having this diversity. In order to survive, we have to promote all the languages, all the cultures, close the gaps, bring the children of Mauritius together, bring the people of Mauritius together through the language, through the culture, through everything. How can you understand, for example, someone who is non-Muslim here in Mauritius, how he will be told or informed that this is in Quran and it says about you this? If he is not reading Arabic, he's not able. He will say, yes, they told me that. Now the time for even non-Muslims, go and read. They say, these people say this about that. Then, okay, if he has the language, he doesn't need people to tell him or to tell her. They will go and read. So what I mean here, to keep it short, I think it is, as I said before, a hand with 5 fingers. You don't want to lose any of them. And you have to look after every single finger. Yeah, it is the same. Equally. And we know that there is main finger and there is another finger, but no one wants to lose anything. Again, it is Mauritius community. We have 5 fingers. Whatever languages, keep them, promote them, look after them. It's your hand.
Doctor, since the beginning we have been talking about non-Arabs. Okay, and what I have come to know that in the University of Taif in Saudi Arabia. You were in a manner responsible for this department, and you have even written books about the teaching of Arabic to non-Arabs. My first question will be here, when we're talking about non-Arabs, what are we meaning? What does that mean?
Actually, this is one of the best questions ever said and heard. I tell you what, sometimes I know one day I read a book, it says the freedom of the language. So I say one word, but what is the semantics and logical understanding of the receiver of the word? The non-Arab word sometimes is sensitive when you want to use it in a sensitive way. I tell you why, and I tell you what. When we say non-Arab in terms of academia, in terms of linguistics, we mean the brain of this person is taking the language as as a second language. It is not the first language.
So mother tongue.
It's not the mother tongue, as he said. Okay. Yeah. So non-Arab means the mind of this person uses the language or speaks the language as a second language. Like English, non-English, it doesn't mean top and down. It means the mind is dealing and doing the brain processing as a second language. So non-Arab here means the language for them, Arabic is not the first language, is not the mother tongue. Frankly and clearly, non-Arab means the mind picking up Arabic as a bilingual, maybe, multilingual, maybe, but it doesn't mean that race. It means brain processing. Brain processing. So I emphasize brain processing.
Okay. What I understand is that non-Arabs are those people who can speak many languages.
Definitely.
Many languages.
Definitely.
But Arabic is not their mother tongue.
Yes.
Even they speak Arabic.
Yes, even they speak Arabic fluently. And maybe they are bilingual.
Okay.
But still bilingual, but the first 5 years, I know in linguistics, we know that from year 1 to 5, the mind starts picking up the mother tongue. So if you live in Mauritius, Carol, for example, or French or English will be picked up by the child. After year of 5, a second language can be spoken bilingually or multilingually, but again, non-Arab. We say non-Arab. Yeah, so it's about nativity here. It's about mother tongue rather than other things.
Yes. Okay, doctor, coming back to your field, that is the non-teaching of Arabic to the teaching of Arabic to non-Arabs. You're from the University of Taif, Saudi Arabia. Just tell us about our viewers, about what are the procedures to be enrolled in that particular university or that particular course. How is that? What are the procedures to enroll for that?
Saudi universities and the Saudi government and other countries, they provide a program and scholarships programs in order to open, as I said before, bridge the bridges, close the gaps. So I tell you something, for example, from Taif University as an example, and as I'm working on that. We offer scholarships every year, and we open them at the beginning of every single year to apply. They will receive applications from all over the world, all the countries, and after that, we will take the students into the procedures of starting 2 years up to 3 years studying Arabic and pass the requirements in order to move to the faculty you desire. To tell you here, Arabic is taught for those students not because they're gonna study Arabic or go to Arabic faculty. After finishing Arabic courses and pass the exams, you are eligible to do any studies, any field, any major, engineering, law, finance, Arabic, Sharia. So we open these scholarships for Muslims and non-Muslims, Arab, non-Arab, and the condition is you study Arabic for the first 2 years. Then you have 4-year program for free, and the government provide them with allowance, monthly allowance. They provide them with accommodation, free health, transportation, free tickets. But why, you might ask, why you taking me? I am studying, or I will study engineering, which is in English in Taif University. Why you take me to study 2-year language, Arabic language program? I tell you what, even for this student who is gonna study engineering in faculty of engineering in English, he needs to understand the community of Saudi Arabia. He needs to survive. He needs to enjoy the time being in Saudi Arabia. He will never be able to do so without knowing the language of the people. If he hears or he listens to someone talking in Arabic, he will feel it's a kind of, when I was in Australia, homesickness. But if you speak English, Australia is your home. If you speak French and English, Mauritius is your home. If you speak Arabic, Saudi is your home. So this is the reason why you're introducing Arabic there. So every year, I am happy even to send you the links every year when it's open. And inshallah, from the next year, we will be receiving some students from Mauritius to Saudi Arabia. During the course being conducted, some teachers here, they have been graduated from Saudi universities and from Malaysian universities and from Arab countries, and they're teaching here.
Yes.
So,
we'll come, Doctor, we'll come about the on the workshop that you have conducted here.
Yeah.
My next question will be, you have just said that it's a kind of the 2 year course that you're speaking about, prior to the main course, engineering or whatever course. So is it optional or is it obligatory?
Actually, we receive the conditions from the faculties. So at the beginning of the year, we send to the faculties, we having this number of students applying for engineering at Taif University. Then the dean faculty, or the dean of the faculty, will send us the conditions. One of the conditions is, for example, what is the requirement of Arabic? So some of the deans will say, listen, we don't need them to study to pass Arabic exam because we introduce our courses in English. Then we have one condition inside the scholarship, at least to have the basics of Arabic in order to go outside and buy something, ask for help. So this,
basis.
yeah. So he will be having this kind of speaking, listening courses. But other deans, they might ask, no, we need the students to have pass Arabic as the same like other languages exams. Then it's not our like decision to decide. It is what we receive from the deans at the universities.
Okay. And what about your academic year? When does it start?
Actually, we have this kind of change because in Saudi Arabia we are following the Islamic calendar and the Georgian calendar.
It remains fluctuating, you mean?
Yeah, the same like the UK calendar. So we're starting like, let's say, May, June, and we have a break. Then we have the end of the year will be like, let's say, August, September. It depends. Yeah.
Okay. Doctor, your students, you just told us that you have students for this particular course across the globe. Do you have something special, I mean, from some special countries that you always have students, or it is really from all over the world?
Yeah, actually, thanks to the Saudi government, not because I'm a Saudi guy, but because the way they like taught us how to we open to the world. So there is no way, one way, we open these scholarships only to one country. So it's open, and now we're having the e-government. So if someone from the US is applying, we only receiving the numbers. We don't know where is he from. We don't know who is he, even what is his name. We see only the number. Then we approve it according to the documents. Have they met the conditions? Approved. Then it goes to the Ministry of Education. Then they sort it out, and they email these students. So it's open to every single word, or country, sorry. So there is no limitations. There is no personal interference, like no one can come and say, no, I like Mauritius, I will bring people from Mauritius. We receive only numbers. So when it's open literally to everyone.
Doctor, you're involved directly in the teaching of the of Arabic to non-Arabs. Very briefly, what difficulties do you encounter in doing so to people whose language, whose mother tongue is not Arabic? What are the difficulties that usually you encounter?
I think this is one of the hardest questions ever teachers face. I will tell you in terms of the languages, whatever languages, but I'm focusing on Arabic. Arabic is easy and not easy. It is the same if you're going to the doctor and you tell the doctor the problem and you have the medicine and you don't take the medicine. So there is no way to solve the problem. Even you go to the best doctor in the world. As teachers, we have the biggest problem that the students practice the language inside the classroom and they leave outside, they use other languages, or they don't focus on learning this language. So the hardest one is how we keep the parents and the home close to the school, to the classroom. This is, I think, the main thing. Nowadays we have new technology, social media. If I want to speak a language, very easily you can do it through this. No one is introducing it as a teacher. Why don't we use technology? Why we need to go to the hearts of the students, our students, in order to bring something to their minds. So I think the hardest way in teaching Arabic, or the difficult thing, is how to link the inside of the classroom with the outside of the classroom. If we can get rid of this nightmare through technology, through YouTube's online teachers programs, then I think we're safe. Other problems are happening everywhere, anytime, but it is under control anytime.
Okay. Another question, straightforward. Is it difficult to learn Arabic language, be it Arab or non-Arab?
If you allow me, I will just spend some time here. The first day I come here, I went out in the street to see the Mauritius people and how they speak, their mentality. I tell you something. Mauritius people, I'm talking here Mauritius because I'm talking to MBC.
Yeah.
Mauritius people are ready to speak 5-6 languages with high level of fluency. Arabic or not Arabic, it's easy for them to speak. We don't need to have it in the mind of the children, the mind of the teachers, the mind of the parents. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is hard. It is you and the desire inside yourself that can control the whole thing. And that's it, yeah. So I think there is no difficulty in any language. You speak whatever you want, just do it, practice. You will speak the language. You will have the high level of fluency. In short time, 1 year, 9 months, you will be able to speak Arabic fluently. Yeah.
You were here in the context of the World World Arabic Language Day upon the invitation of the Islamic Cultural Center. Your workshop has gone, I think, for 2 or 3 days. And I would like to know, following the workshop that you have conducted here, what was the what are your views? What are your suggestions that you want to put forward regarding the teaching and the learning of Arabic language in Mauritius?
At the beginning, I would say frankly, efforts from the ICC have been done and made, conducting such kind of courses, training the teachers, bringing the teachers from all over Mauritius to do the courses, encouraging the students through playing plays, having drama, having competitions, and you can see through the celebration how many students have been granted gifts and awards in terms of Arabic for encouragement. One thing we need to do here, we need to encourage the young generation who are coming, because the generation of Mauritius, as I see, amazing. I think also we should establish a kind of or sort of agreement between, for example, Taif University and I'm here. I would like to tell you that the Saudi government, from the top to anyone in the country, will be happy to support and sign whatever agreement can help in having continuous programs, continuous academy centers, whatever. So we need to work together, Saudi government, Mauritius government, ICC, Taif University. We need to work together, come close together, sit together, find ways for the long term. The short term or such programs only for 1 year. So Arabic is not only 18th of December. Let's say it frankly. We need from now on, thank you for everything has been done before, but believe me, Mauritius is ready to go beyond that, far beyond that. With the mind of Mauritius people, with the mind and the mentality of what we have in Saudi, I'm sure we can jump to a higher level. So this is what I hope.
Inshallah. Doctor, we're coming to the end of our program. My last question to you will be, we have been talking about various aspects of this language, be it cultural, even we have touched a bit of the business aspect and all. If I ask you, in this modern world, in the world where emerging economies today, why a person should learn or should study Arabic language? Why?
Yeah, so now we are looking into the motivations. Yeah.
Exactly.
Why? I will ask it in a different way to answer. Why did we go to study, for example, medicine? Why did I go to Australia to study linguistics? Why did I go to this place and buy this thing? Why should I stay in this? It is the same. But the thing, I will tell you something. Sometimes we take our children to the shopping mall and we take them around to buy things. And I teach my children personally, do you want it or do you need it? This is a very serious question. If you want everything in the shopping center. Even it's expensive, it looks very good, it seems good, but what do you need? If we plant this in our hearts and minds and the parents, the children, why do you want Arabic? Maybe I don't want, but do you need it? This is the question. As a Muslim, I will say I need it. I don't need to go to Mufti or Sheikh and ask what is the meaning of this word in Quran. Why I don't speak Arabic? I know the word itself. And then I go ask for rules and conditions rather than asking about meaning. So this is from a Muslim perspective. From another perspective, the world is now going bigger and global and open. You want to work in Mauritius. You don't know after 10 days you will be working where. You might work as a doctor. I know yesterday we have been talking to the Vice Prime Minister, and he was working in Saudi for 4 years. So it's part of the job. You can't say no, I can get a job because I speak French, I speak English. Yeah, but the more you speak, the more you go into the mind and the hearts of the people. So jobs doesn't mean you work only with one type of people. If you're a good speaker, you need more languages. So this is number one. Number two, let's say there is something, and the news in the media and newspapers saying so and so, and I am as a translator telling you the second view of what has been said. Okay? Why didn't I have the ability to read myself and understand the word? So, encouraging me to understand the world, come closer to the cultures, whatever language, focusing on Arabic is important. So, in order to understand the culture, I need to understand the language. It's linked. Number three, we will be like admiring, and we will like impressed by the person who is speaking. Oh, look, he speaks French. Oh, look, mashallah, he speaks English, Arabic. I'm proud of my daughters. They speak 3 or 4 languages. So this is like the encouraging that's happening. We need it. We need it like it is like a soccer game. If someone doing something new, you say, hey, it is football, it's soccer, but it's still, you will be like, look, this is great, this is amazing. Impressive. Yeah, and we have to change the plans, we need to change the ways. So I think encouraging people is just come closer, understand me. You want to understand me? Speak my language. I speak your language. You come to my culture, I come to your culture, then it's easy as that. Just do it. Yeah.
Dr. Jaman, thank you very much for being with us and for sparing some time for the MBC channel. And on behalf of the MBC channel, I would like to thank you heartily for these good words regarding the Arabic language. In fact, you said it. Everyone has to ask himself or herself, you want it or you need it? This depends on you. Thank you very much, and inshallah we'll meet soon. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. नाज़रीन, ये प्रोग्राम यहाँ पर अख्तिताम पज़ीर होता है। आपकी तवज्जो के लिए शुक्रिया। आज हमने बात की अरबी ज़बान की। इंशाअल्लाह अगली बार एक दूसरे मौजू के साथ मुलाकात होगी। अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। अपना ख्याल रखना।